How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at a topic that is central to a lot of people. It's not really affecting me personally because I've kind of made that transition from physical to digital, and though at the beginning I said that I would never make that transition purely based on the simplicity of it, I've made the transition. Now, obviously, there are some concerns regarding this, and there are a lot of people that are concerned that, these games could easily be taken off your Xbox or your PlayStation, and you'll lose access to them forever. If you have a physical version, that will not happen. And this is obviously a thing. This is a concern, especially just for game preservation. People are worried. But as, the governments and the world try to, counteract carbon waste and reduce plastic waste, this is something that's going to be hit. Now, it's not to say that they won't be entirely gone. The plan is for them to be, but I think like games like companies that do like limited number, like the limited run company, no pun intended, but they do certain physicals, but they're gonna cost you. They're not going to be the general cost. They're going to cost you because they're going to be so sought after and they're going to be limited. And obviously with high demand comes... But then we also have the question where if the future consoles will actually be digital only. And if they will, well, it kind of makes physical go out the window anyway. But we're not just there yet. But according to an analyst, 2028 is when we'll finally be in a position where games will be embracing all digital. And so I found this article, which I thought was kind of interesting, so I just wanted to go through it and see what it's all about. So it says digital-only AAA games to become the standard by 2028, analyst predicts. Video game industry analyst Matt Piscatella predicts that digital-only AAA games will become more prevalent in the following years as physical recedes. I kind of agree with this because we're already seeing it, and we've seen this with multiple different trends as well, whether it's VHS, music, it's all kind of followed that path, right? And then you've got like the vinyls that now appear in like limited quantities, but they're so expensive. The more AAA games are expected to become digital-only releases as publishers and developers aim to aggressively cut costs and maximize profits. I mean, there is always that as well. Alan Wake 2's controversial digital-only launch. This is one of the first games, along with Like a Dragon, the new one, I forgot its name, but they're only coming digital-only, has caused a stir in the games industry, but the trend isn't all that surprising. In this particular case, the business decision makes sense. Remedy Entertainment is a smaller developer, and Epic Games, a billion-dollar powerhouse, is almost certainly focused on digital, especially with their store. Epic also fronted the entire development and marketing budget of Alan Wake 2 and probably didn't also want to spend the extra millions on producing and shipping game discs. That is also a factor, but as long as we actually get that saving passed down to the consumer, I'm actually okay with it. Going digital only also reduced Alan Wake 2's price tag to $59.99 on console and $49.99 on PC, and that's where it really matters, right? I know some people are completely against console, digital only releases, but if I'm going to get $20 off my price, and it's going from a $70 game to a $50 game, that's a considerable saving for not having a box. Obviously, people will still want their box, but at least there is a saving to be made there. That won't be the case for other companies, including Sony Interactive, who have made it clear that revenues are the biggest priority. So what they're saying there is, despite Remedy actually passing on that saving, other companies like Sony will not pass on that saving to you. They will remove the physical box and still charge you the $70, as we see right now on the storefronts. According to Circana, formerly MPD Group, analyst Matt Piscatella, more publishers, developers, and even platform holders are set to embrace digital-only releases over the next 2 years. By 2028, digital-only AAA games may become the norm. That's on top of the new $69.99 price point that was introduced in 2020 for PS5 and Xbox Series XS games, and perpetuated by new adopters like Nintendo and Microsoft. His first price increases were for games like Redfall, which is crazy, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which for some is very justified. I still don't think it is. Digital only AAA releases are here. Over the next 2 years, this trend will accelerate by 2028. Also, I think it'll be the norm for most Xbox and PS releases. Nintendo likely won't move as fast, but then again, it's Nintendo and they're always full of surprises. And this is what Matt Piscatella posted on Twitter. And I actually agree with this because I think it is something that is going to happen. It's going that way. We're already moving towards a sort of cloud ecosystem. We're not there yet. It's a long way away for the cloud. But I think if cloud is going to take off in the next 15, it's going to be in the next 10, 15 years, right? Not within the next 2-3 years. The next 10, 15 years are going to be the foundations, the growing of the market, getting it to where it needs to be. And then at, the 10, 15 year mark is where things will either take off or it's just going to remain as a commodity rather than a replacement. But time will tell with that one. He also notes that digital share rates are hitting the tipping point, highlighting a trend that we've seen across PlayStation and Xbox for some time now. Publishers like EA and Take-Two also make most of their revenues from digital, with Capcom following suit as well. In the era of online-only games and auto-updates, digital-only releases complete the trifecta of maximal KPI tracking, revenue generation, and a significantly increased measure of control for developers who can now squash out bugs, glitches, and generally have a greater reign over their creations. Add to that, if it's an always online game, the fact that you have a physical means absolutely nothing anymore. Because if you do have a physical game and it's always online, well, guess what? If that server shuts down, your physical's useless anyway, and it'll be worth absolutely nothing. Go try selling your physical copy of Babylon's Fall and see what you'll get for it. This has obvious implications for the world of video games preservation, since digital games can be, and often are, delisted from sale. This is true, especially due to licensing issues, like we recently saw with Quantum Break for Xbox, where one of the tracks were basically, they lost a license and they had to re-sign the license and it was back on. Gamers will also have a harder time experiencing a day one version of digital-only games, especially in the era of auto-updates. It's always fun to go back and experience something like No Man's Sky as it was at launch in 2016. No, it's not. It's not. No one wants to experience a shell of a game, a broken game, and no one wants to play that. No one. Anyone that does is crazy. And that's only if you own a physical copy of the game. Sure, I get that. But that's like saying MMOs that evolve, you'll never experience what they had previously, like when they first started. It's just an evolution of things. It's not something that people do want to experience themselves. I disagree with that. But in the end, this debate between physical and digital is going to go on for some time. And as more and more companies are embracing digital only to save those costs, and some like Remedy passing on those those cost savings to their consumers, it is nice to see that is happening. But how it's going to actually impact the gaming community is another matter. I'm already seeing loads on Twitter arguing and making a big deal that if it goes full digital, they are done with gaming altogether. I genuinely don't believe that. I think people will just adapt and move forward. Me personally, I can't remember the last physical game I bought. I actually can't. All my games are now digital because it's just more convenient for me. I just go to the store, find what I want, buy. Or, it's £70 on there and £70 over there. I don't really sell games. And if Sony and PlayStation provide a way where you can trade your digital games in and get some credit for it for your next purchase, that is the point where digital will explode. I know Xbox were trying to do this early on with the Xbox One. That was the plan, but that all got scrapped once their whole Xbox One plan went out the window. And I really hope that this is something that they look at and actually reintegrate and bring back, because being able to trade in your digital license, and yes, you'll lose access to that game, but you'll get some credit for it that you can invest in another game. I think that's the next evolution for digital gaming. And if we get to that point, I think you'll see that the speed in which people go from digital only gaming is going to increase exponentially. You let me know in the comment section below what you think. Let's have that discussion, and I will see you in the next one. I will be streaming tonight at 6 p.m. Probably going to start a little earlier just to get things ready, but we are going to be showcasing, co-streaming the Xbox Showcase here on Twitch. Not on this channel, but we're going to do it over on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/ChaosPrimeZ Gaming. Links in the description below. Hopefully I'll see a bunch of you there. Let's check it out. And if you have any questions regarding this or ABK or any of the other videos I have, feel free to come over and we can have that discussion. Right, that's it. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time.